Well. Here we are. 2 weeks into the Gears Reloaded beta. 2 different chances to play, and I gotta say, I've got some gears to grind. On the one hand, there have been some good things. The visuals are great. Honestly, Gears has never looked better. Between 4K resolutions, the textures and character models look amazing. The lighting effects and everything look amazing. The frame rate being a steady 60 FPS or all the way up to 120, amazing. Also not to sneeze at are the amount of systems supported, like consoles from Xbox and now PlayStation to even PCs, and having crossplay? Yeah, that's kinda cool. That said, there are some bad, and the bad, I feel like they really stand out. Now, in the first week of the beta, I really noticed some very strong issues with hit detection and consistency. And what I'm talking about is, for example, your Lancer, your workhorse weapon of the COG. You'll notice that in week 1, the Lancer is really able to do almost everything. And considering this game runs on server, it's not like the same issues exactly faced by the original Gears, where host connection was god to everything else. And so as host, you really were the lord of everything you saw, and you had the strongest of any weapon in your hand. Here, the Lancer in week 1 just felt way too strong compared to week 2, where it's a lot more balanced and a lot more unfeasible to use in a close-up fight. Whether you're hip firing or trying to aim and just go after someone, you really don't want to take this into a 1v1 close encounter. Which leads me to the Gnasher, the absolute most iconic weapon for most people that have grinded their gears and put their time in. A wall-bouncing Gnasher battle between 2 equally matched players. It's a thing of beauty to watch, and it's one of the things that absolutely epitomizes Gears' unique combat experience. That said, if you look at week 1, you really have to roll the dice like you're going to gambling at Vegas if you want to say, from the same distance, is this shot going to get an instant KO, down them, or be packed with marshmallow fluff and do absolutely nothing? Because honestly, the consistency was only in the inconsistency, which doesn't feel great. Even other weapons like the boom shot, the long shot, the torque bow, and the pistol had their pros and cons, but most of those felt like they were untouched. And so if you missed a snipe with the long shot, that's kind of on you. Where if you hit with the boom shot, it's always been a little janky. You could hit someone point blank at their feet and they might go down instead of just completely being a KO. But for the mainstay weapons, the Lancer and Gnasher, to feel so widely different that first week really struck a nerve with me looking at this as a reloaded, a remastered, a redefined experience going into its August release date. And lastly, the game is really clunky. Yeah, I know. Gears 1 has always been pretty clunky. That's kind of its defining jank, if you will, compared to the later releases in the series, Gears 2, etc. But this is a chance for the Coalition to really deliver on an update to a classic. So what's the bigger issue here? Well, this is actually the second re-release of Gears of War 1. Oddly enough, the last time we got Gears Ultimate Edition was August 25th, 2015, and this one is going to be August 26th, 2025. So 10 years and a day later, we're getting another Gears 1. That's kind of cool, but it's also kind of concerning. Now I want to compare this for a second to another remake or re-release of an already beloved game in a franchise. For this one, let's look at Resident Evil 2 Remake. Now this game came out to uproars of applause, and to this day is still heralded as one of gaming's greatest remakes because It doesn't just tread the same lines, cover the same path, and make everything shiny and up-res textures. It puts in the effort. Capcom did something special with this, where you still have scenario A, scenario B, you still have all these opportunities for extra scenarios and gameplay to unlock. There is really a treasure trove of content here, literally and lovingly ripped from the original release on the PlayStation back in the day. However, the remake doesn't stop there. It brings to the 20th century all of those revisions that time have given us, from no longer being restricted to tank controls to other flourishes of gameplay like differences in puzzles, unique environment shifts, and really giving us the same story but told in a definitive example of what it should or could have been. Now this is great, and you're saying, well, all remakes, all remasters kind of do that, but they don't. And I want to point out another example, The Last of Us Part 1 remake. The sales for that game were atrocious on both PlayStation and PC. And without getting into the technical issues or anything like that of the PC release, look at the console release on PS5 of The Last of Us Part 1. It came out during a high point for the franchise. People are really looking to get into this after maybe seeing the show, and there's a lot of renewed enthusiasm. But, rightfully so, a majority of the fan base points out, why? Why did we bother doing this when we already had a remaster of the 2013 game available on PS4 and backwards compatible to PS5? That remaster was a visual update and included the DLC. That's great. We're aces. We couldn't have it any better. Here's a new one of the same thing, but we upgraded the visuals again? Did we do anything too special? Not really. And the sales show. So the bigger question, what's the point of Gears Reloaded? Is it to bring a new game to PlayStation to give a new market opportunity for sales? I thought it was. And that's why originally I was very excited, because I thought, hey, this is the opportunity of a lifetime to give Gears 1 not just the visual polish it deserves, but to also give it an upgrade in its systems. Not where you're literally playing Gears 5 with the mounting, the vaulting, the speed, and everything like that, but really honing in on the core gameplay of what made Gears of War 1 so special all those years ago, and bringing that to a new generation. Not changing everything, but uplifting in service of a solid gameplay experience. And after what I've played these last 2 weeks, I don't really think that's the case. And that makes me kind of upset. Mostly because it's almost been 20 years after E-Day, and we still talk about this game because we love it. But it's not that, oh, we just want to go back to the way things were. Oh, we just want to have everything one for one copy. No. We've learned since 2006 a lot about game experience and what it takes to make something that can appeal but also has that skill cap. I'm not the greatest Gears of War player. I love watching pros play because I love the way they fine-tune and dial into everything from the movement to wrap shots to reactions to back A's to up A's, learning positioning, angles, crossfire, playing for your teammates. All of these things are exciting in a pro play scene. But even for a casual player, having the opportunity to play a game that feels like something more than just a really shiny game from 2006 would be much better and would go a long way forward. So with that, I'm not really sure what the success rate long term might be for Gears Reloaded. And for that matter, if this is what you're doing as a 20-year anniversary celebration of sorts, or even just a 10-year anniversary celebration of sorts, what does that mean for E-Day? It's really the kind of question that makes you wonder what goes on behind those closed doors at a studio, who's making these decisions, and where is their best interest? Is it in just rushing out another sloppy product? Or is it in fostering and building for bigger and better experiences for players to actively crave this studio's creations? I really worry and I wonder which one of those two is more likely the truth. And sadly, I think I know. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Connect with me on social medias, links are all in the description. And until next time, remember Gears, stay morphed.